Let's see what is happening. Going live. You are live. What is that error there? Oh, that doesn't look good. Is this supposed to happen if I reload? Oh my goodness. What is happening? Connect your encoder to start the preview. It's there. Okay, it's working. Okay, it's working. Let's go down. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Protesilaos, also known as Prot. So I said that too quickly. Let me 1 second adjust the chat here. So hello everyone. My name is Protesilaos, also known as Prot. What I want to do in this live stream, which I just announced like 20 minutes ago, it's completely spontaneous. What I want to do is do some maintenance work on one or more of my Emacs packages. So what I have here is I just launched Emacs, and I want to start with Denote, and then maybe I also switch to the TMR package timer. And what I want to do now is go to GitHub and go to Denote here and check the bug report that I was commenting on earlier. So there is this one here. Maybe the text is too small for the stream, so I can enlarge it. So this person is reporting an issue with the Denote backlinks functionality, namely the fact that they are not getting what we expect to get. And I suggested a couple of things here, and this person gave me the response. So they are giving me the hint that I need, and so I will continue with that. But not sure. Maybe that causes a conflict. I think it's not apparently what is happening now. Okay. Otherwise, in another case, I am new to the node. I didn't realize nodes cannot use a top level heading. I guess the idea is the title of the node is in the front matter. So let's go there, and I will respond, of course, to this person. But let's go and switch on to Denote. I want to go to Denote Markdown, actually, from where we have the Denote Obsidian definition. By the way, I don't see the comments here, the chat, it's there. Of course, there are no comments, but that's good. I will keep it there just in case. So, okay. We are defining here. Let me actually also bring up Denote. I will need it. So let's bring up Denote first. So in Denote Markdown, we are defining one new Denote file type. And this Denote file type is similar to what we are defining for the other Markdown file types, but it has fewer entries, fewer keywords and values here, which is most probably what is contributing to this issue. So let's see actually what we have here. Okay, this would be the front matter. So this we need. Actually, we would need all of those. We would need all of those keywords, key regex. This we wouldn't. This wouldn't exist. Yeah, let me actually think what we would need so that I can place it all there. So those we have already. Okay, let's actually have this. Okay, so this we have. This we have. This we will use what is above. Okay, good. Signature, there will be no signature, there will be no identifier, there will be no date, indeed. Okay, okay, I see. So basically the only thing I want here is this. Okay, let's remove this. So here. So that's good over there. Yes, this is the right one. Okay, so this is what I want to do, is to fix this. So let's say here, make sure the markdown obsidian file type can retrieve links. Otherwise, it breaks the Denote backlinks functionality. As reported in issue, and then of course I have to go get the issue. 699. Okay, I have to actually streamline this. On the Denote Git tracker. On Denote Git. Let's do on Denote. Okay, so there is that. And what was the name of the person here? Good boy. And let's actually acknowledge. No, I don't have it here. So acknowledgements. So yeah, I don't have them here. Actually, I will add it to the main denote one. That's why I don't have it here. So that's fine. So let's commit this. So that's good. Off it goes. And let's bring up. Okay, here is the note. Let's go here. Acknowledgements, and we will have here A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's a good boy. Good, very good boy. Like this. But actually, because this is not a real name, I put those towards the end. So we have here A, B, C, D, E, F, and then I don't see a G. So let's put that there. And this is good. So let's write it here. What is this? This is something else. Okay, I made this change earlier. I was about to review it, but I didn't. Okay, so let's actually have here. Acknowledge good boy for reporting bug in the note markdown. Actually, I can bring up the previous message. So this was done. This was done in issue here. Looks good. Let's do that. Let's push, and let me actually also update the manual on my website. So Denote HTML here. Okay, so update Denote HTML, and maybe I can commit this as well. So off it goes. Okay, that's good. Let's get rid of this. And now let's come to Denote proper. Actually, no, let me go and no, actually, let me rewrite this 1 second, and then I will go and comment on what this person was asking. So this was a very small thing here. So to make sure that this will not return nil, otherwise that should stop. Let's think here. Prevent from throwing an error if file type is nil. Okay, this is something I wanted to do earlier and I forgot to commit it. Okay, so that's good. Let's go here and report our findings. So, okay, lots of things actually. In the latter case, backward work, former case, I got the error. So let's start with this here. Using the web browser is a necessary evil. What can I do? I mean, GitHub has JavaScript. I was using email to do the issues until I realized that people would edit the issue that they have published. And then what I would see in the email would be something outdated. So I was like, look, this doesn't work. Like I would post a comment and then I would get people be like, hey, I actually changed it. And I'm like, okay, I will give up on email. So for GitHub issues, I mean. So in the latter case, okay, so let's have it like this. I just made a change to Denote Markdown. that should fix this error. As to why you got your file, as to why your file got treated as a what was it, markdown obsidian file. It is because of the single hashed heading. Maybe there is something we can do to improve this. Oh, actually, I know what we can do to improve this. I will make sure this does not happen. Okay, so we have that, but I think they say something else. Yeah, that's a bug. It should happen. My mistake. So there is that. I guess the idea is the title of the note is in the front matter. That for sure. Indeed, though, we have no opinion about what should go in the file. You can write text as you see fit. So that's good. I think they also mentioned something else. Let me see. Maybe because of conflict. Okay, nothing else. Let's commit to this. Commit. I keep saying commit. Okay, that's good. Let's go back to Denote Markdown and see what we can do with that. Denote Markdown here. And I think, oh my goodness, I didn't. So, okay. I committed with open brackets here. Did I? I probably did, yes. So fix missing parentheses. Okay, so that's good. I'm still cold. I still haven't been typing, so I need to warm up. So we have that. And let's see, what do we have? Append. Append. So let me confirm that append actually means what it says. Append, if the element is added, it is added to the beginning of the list unless the optional argument append is non-nil, in which case element is added at the end. Okay, so there is that. Adding append, I will have to comment on here, because adding append is a kludge, is not really a fix. We have right now a markdown file with a level one heading will be treated as a markdown obsidian file. This is because of how we were adding this file type to the front of Denote file types. And by the way, let me check the chat because I forgot that I have it here. Can I do something to have it at the top? I remember there was an option to do this with Windows. Always show, like there was an option to have it at the top. Maybe this is something that GNOME does not support. Fine. Of course, there are comments. So I will get to the comments, folks. 1 second. Okay, I don't see an option here to keep this at the top, but maybe I will switch away from GNOME and that will fix it anyway. Let me see here. That should be good. Let's have here. What we need to do eventually is be more smart about this. Actually, let's have this as a to-do so that I can find it more easily. Okay, so add comment about the registration of Markdown Obsidian in the denote file types. So the denote file types is how we register support for file types for the purposes of creating new nodes. This is not for renaming existing files. That can happen with any file anyway. Let me get to the chat and then see what we have. I forgot I added something to the note. Well, let's see. Here it starts. Okay. All right. The Windows remarks on reusing the Git installation path for xref grep. Okay. Yes. Has been a while. I need to look into the node again. Can you not use Magit's Forge for handling issues? I have only tried it on private GitLab instances yet. But I heard it works quite fine for GitHub. I think I tried it at some point and something wasn't working. I cannot remember what it was, but I didn't give it another chance. Probably I should try it again. Yes. Hello all. Hello there to you too. Prod, what do you use to publish your blog, and does it include the RSS? I've been writing my own recently, but if there's something good out there, I may just switch to that. I have been using Jekyll. It is a static site generator, but this is a decision I made in 2016. At the time, I didn't know anything about Emacs. I hadn't even switched to Linux yet. So I was like, you know what? I have this WordPress website. I don't like WordPress. It feels too busy. WordPress.org specifically. It feels too busy and I want something simple. Eventually, I found Jekyll. I just switched to that. And it's what I have been using ever since. Jekyll does support RSS feeds. In fact, on my website, I can go actually now. Let me see. Where am I? Am I here? So if I go to the repository here, I have actually, we can go head.html, plenty of RSS feeds, okay? And you can publish one or more RSS feeds. It's just a matter of defining the XML for them and taking it from there. My source code is available if you want. You can check that. And basically, you can copy anything you want. I remember it took me a lot of time to figure all this out. Not least because when I started doing this, I didn't know any programming, but also because web technologies are a bit obscure. There are so many things, so many moving parts. My website has been very stable, though. Once I figured out what I like, I never touched it again. The CSS is mine, the HTML is mine. There is no JavaScript. So yeah, it's a nice website, I think. Nice, simple project. At some point, I would like to switch to something more Emacs centric, but I have like, I don't know, close to 2,000 publications already. It's a lot of work. There are exceptions. I don't want to bother with that at this time. It's not a pressing issue, not least because if I do change it, I will basically end up with the same setup. I don't want to change actually how things work. So let's see. And just to say, there was recently an article from the former maintainer of org mode, Bastien Guéry, and Bastien, I think it's Bastien, his name, yeah, Bastien, yeah, sure. And Bastien was writing about this static site generator called Orgy. I guess you want to pronounce it Orgy, and then you can have fun. But Orgy or whatever, and it's a static site generator. And Bastien provides a useful tutorial to get started. So maybe if you don't have something already, you could start with that. But there are other options as well in the Emacs space alone. Need to fix some Linux issues at the neighbors. We'll be back in 10. Okay, sure, good. Of course, having neighbors that have Linux issues, that's already a rarity in the world, I think. Let's see. Hello, Prod. Thank you for your efforts, especially Denote. You're welcome. And then we have another comment. Greetings from Greece. So hello to you too. Greetings from Cyprus. So kalispera, as we would say at around this hour. Let's continue, folks. So I did this And what I want to do now is see what I can do, actually. I like this to do. I could work on that. I want to see exactly how we decide what counts as a file here. But actually, wait, 1 second. Let me do this so that you can see the mode lines. So it's a bit easier for you to follow what I'm doing. Let's go to the test notes here. Okay, some test notes that I have over here. I don't have a test for Markdown, so let's create something. This is Markdown, and we are testing here. Okay, that's a good. What happens right now if I do, I will do it here, denote file type heuristics, and for the buffer file name. So this, what do we get? It's Markdown YAML. If I add this, this is a heading and more text. Okay, let's see, what do we get here? Markdown YAML. What happens now if I load, if I say Emacs load library, denote Markdown? Okay, so if I do that, and now I evaluate this here, Markdown Obsidian. So that's the problem here. Let me now go and go 1 second to Denote. Let me switch to Denote here. And let me go to the Denote file types. Let's reset the value here. So this thing here never took effect. Now I reset it. Let me now do this again. Markdown YAML. If I evaluate this, still Markdown YAML. So that's already good. I now want to work on this to do, but let's commit this. Oh, I did commit this. It would be nice if I fixed also diffHL so that it clears when I commit, but that's fine. Okay, so let's see how this happens. I think I will not need to modify this file, so I can go straight to Denote for that. And let's go see what is happening. Let's see with the file type heuristics. Let's see with the heuristics here. So if it's that, then we have the denote file type, which should be here. Okay. Let's instrument this, and let's go again to the denote test. And this is Markdown. Okay, let's go ahead and try this. So what do we have here? We get all the file types. Of course, we have 3 Markdown related file types. This is good, actually. Here we have to be smarter. So let's see first what we do here. Okay. If the regexp in file p. So this is actually what it should be. Like, we should be checking for something, but not for something else. But it's tricky because how we will embed this, how we will communicate that at the level of the of the file type itself. Denote file types. Types. Let me take a closer look at this, because this I wrote a very long time ago. I don't even remember. So we have all this. Maybe we should have a key to the effect that front matter, no, basically. Like, it doesn't have front matter. But this would be wrong, because it does have. It has front matter, but it's just the title. But maybe what we would need is the title as the first thing, which is tricky. It's tricky to use regular expressions to just say, okay, the first line has title. Yeah, I'm not sure how best to do this, or what I even want to do with this. I'm not quite sure. So I will leave that as is. But let me actually go back to here, denote file type. Let's add here the to do here, fix me, or a to do. We should have a way to check if some key exists, so as to perform another check here. I want to keep it generic. I'm not sure how I want to do it. I'm still not sure. The problem I have in mind is when we have title. Actually, let me write it here. Actually, like this. When we have title without any front matter and markdown obsidian is in front of other markdown formats. Markdown obsidian from the Denote markdown package. Okay, that's good. Let's have here this. So add the to do about Denote file type. Okay, that's good. I think I saw some movement in the chat. I will come and check now. Hello from Mexico. Best regards, Prot. Best regards to you too. And I recognize your name, so thank you for the patches recently on Pulsar. That was nice. So let's see, what can we do here? Let me see. Is there something else I would want here? This is good, I would say. This is good. Do I have a test for this, for the denote file type? I think I wanted to write a test, but I never did. Let's see. Let's do it like this. No. So, okay, there is no test either. So that can go, these can go together. So this could have a test. It could also have the refinement here. And I will need to think how best to approach this. I'm not sure exactly what I want to do. Eventually, it should be unambiguous, like eventually, or it should be exhaustive, like it should search. Well, is there YAML at the top? And that it could do by searching the first line or TOML. How is even TOML expressed? I forget. So TOML, what do we do? So TOML is with this. Okay, that would actually, Okay, so we could say if the first line has 3 dashes and it's markdown file, well, that's already YAML, right? But I don't want to commit to that because I don't know. Actually, let me write it for this. Could we rely on a heuristic by which at the beginning of the by which, let me do it here. Actually, let me write it 1 second. Let me write it in the Scratch because I want to write the exact code of what I mean. Sorry, this. Okay, leave it like that. Go to char, save excursion. Here, go to char, point min, and then looking at, and here we want just this, I think. Anyway, I want to capture the intent by which this always means YAML. Let's see here. Then TOML is with Otherwise, we search further. So there is that. Let's actually indent here. One, two, three, four. Okay, so let me do this. Um, expand the to do comment about this. Okay, good. Let's see. I saw the chat moving again, so I will check out what is happening. Let's see. I'm back. Need to to catch up with 2 times the speed. Okay, so I don't think much has changed. So yeah, no problem. Hello, Prod. Hope you are having a nice evening walk today. Yeah, I had a walk. It was earlier. It went well, and we will go afterwards as well. So after I'm done with this live stream, the dogs will be ready for action, and so will I. And I'm looking forward to that. I enjoy hiking at night. Um, it's not that dark actually. Like if you walk into the mountain, so there are no artificial lights around, your eyes quickly adjust and you can see around just fine. And that's what I do. So we go, and at night, I always follow beaten paths. So I will not try to discover some new area. I will always go to some place that I have traversed many times before. So it's the safest possible route. And then it's fine. So we will walk for maybe an hour at night, and that's great. How is the weather there? The weather here is improving. It was raining a lot this past winter, which is great news. Nowadays, it's not raining, and the days are getting warmer, and of course, the days are also growing longer. So we have sunshine, and yeah, it feels like normal Cyprus weather now. In the mountains, it's a bit cooler than if you are close to the sea, or if you are at sea level, rather. I would say not a bit cooler, considerably cooler, maybe a difference of 10 degrees Celsius. So at night here, it still is very cold, relatively speaking. Even during the summer here, like the peak of summer, at night, you will need at least a light jacket. If you are unprepared and you come to the mountains, that's going to be a tough night for you. You will suffer, basically. That granted, I think things are going well and I am enjoying. Okay. Um, I have to think about this. I'm not sure how I want to proceed with this. I have to think about it. Maybe I will do it in this stream, but I have to think of what I want to do. I don't want to make a commitment that has far-reaching implications, such as to modify the denote file types, because then if I don't like the idea, it's a mess. It's a mess to actually change those. Furthermore, the fact with the denote file types of add to list, um, changing the expected behavior anyway suggests that this is problematic. So anyway, this needs to be fixed. Okay, so let me go to the Firefox here and let's see. When I made that fix, did I quote this? I didn't. Um, let me see. And I want to quote this. Let's see. Quote reply. Um, I made another change to denote markdown. It should be fixed now, though the change will only be available in the next stable release of the package. Well, unless you are building from source. Okay, let's comment this. Okay, so that's good. I don't think there is something else here. With this, I could close the browser. Um, but actually, I will add here. Let's actually go. I want to actually see something with Denote Markdown because I have a vague memory that I didn't have any update to do. Last time I updated Denote, I didn't actually have any update here. Yeah, exactly. So use the new name for denote identifier regular expression. Okay, so that's just a minor thing. Sorry, I closed it. When was the last version of Denote? So it was 4.1. Okay, so that tracks. And Denote Markdown. So the last version was okay. It was before. So yeah, there wasn't really anything. What is this? To trigger ELPA update for what? For this. Okay, so there was that. Actually, I will bump the version now. Can retrieve links. Actually, yeah, let's actually bump the version now because this doesn't depend on anything else related to the node. Here, bump version number to trigger GNU ELPA rebuild. Maybe I should explain why I want it. So no, actually, let's do it, and that's fine. Or I could. Let's do that. Let's see. This is to include commit and its follow-ups. Okay, like that. Okay, that's good. We can get rid of that. So let me see. Actually, a new version of Denote Markdown will be available later. Closing now. Thanks. Let's do that. Okay, off it goes. So let's dismiss that. Let's see what we can do with Denote, folks. So the backlinks should work now, but let me go to the test there and confirm. No, not this test. So I want to go to the Denote test here. Okay, so this is Markdown. Okay, let's go to another here. Let's go from org. Okay, and here is a link, and I want to link to the Markdown file here. Okay, so from here, if I get to the backlinks, it works. Okay, it works. So that works. Let me actually go and still put in front that. Yeah, I keep changing. Actually, you know what? For the purposes of this thing, of this stream, let me actually disable bframe for now because I keep doing this thing where I pop up frames and maybe I am confusing you folks. It makes sense when I do it on my own, but maybe it will be harder for you to follow. So, okay, what I want to do is go to the scratch. So here, and actually let's move this to the front and see what we can do. So what are the denote file types very quick? Map car, the car of the denote file types. They are, okay. No, I want, okay, let's actually go back to denote. Of course, here, the file types, here, denote file types. Okay, here, okay, do your thing, and that's what I want. Okay, so let's now do the backlinks. Okay, so it still works. That's good. So either way, we are good. I was expecting that to work, so that's fine. But I do believe that I have to fix it now. I do believe that this is the right moment. Otherwise, it's an issue. It's something that we cannot really rely on. Though, on the other hand, as I am saying this, probably this is fine because it's the users that will add to that. Denote Markdown is the exception, but actually maybe it's not because in theory any other package can build on top of Denote and add to this as well. So I have to probably add another keyword here. So I will check. There is a comment here. I have a package. Actually, sorry. It should be like that so you can see it. Yeah, let's see. I have a package on non-GNU. To make update, do I just need to change the version number on GitHub? Not even on GitHub. Of course, changing it on GitHub is something you would want to do. But you go to the top of the file, as I did earlier. You bump the version number to whatever makes sense for your package and commit that, and then within 6 hours or whatever, the new package will be available. So this is what I have been doing for the longest time. Actually, let's go to the denote file types and let me think how best to approach this. Because of course we have a specific case. Okay, so I want to have that in focus. We have a specific case, but there could be others. So let me see here the denote file type of file. And the check we were doing here was for title key regex. So title key regex, I don't like it. I don't like it because we assume that, of course, if there is front matter, it will be a title. So we should have here a test of what would be a good test though? Maybe like front matter regex or something like it. There should be something more generic than the title. It should be something like, but I'm not sure how it would be for org. Like it should be like from front matter regex, but for org, what that would be, I don't know. Because for org, we would do the same, though, of course, org will only have one file extension, but in theory, if it had more, we would be searching for the title key regex. So we would be searching for this, which is a reasonable heuristic already. It's a reasonable default, this one. But for Markdown in particular, which has the block clearly delimited, it doesn't work. This cannot work. No, I think I shouldn't make this change. I think I shouldn't make. So here we do the same. It's good. It makes sense. It's a good idea. And yeah, of course, if you have like a front matter block, where is it? Here. Do we have here? If you have a front matter block like this, of course, it's easy to say that it is front matter. So, but of course, if you had something like this, that would still, no, it wouldn't work. Maybe I could do something with first line. That also is unreliable because the thing with the first line is that, for example, you can have an org file. Let's actually go to the org files here, for example. I can have and let's actually, oh, no, that's not what I want. Let's actually create an org file. So some org file here, and we are testing Denote. So you could have a property, for example, category, and then hello. It doesn't really matter. So you could have something like that. So we cannot assume that there will be keywords as the first thing. So we cannot rely on that. Furthermore, actually, wait, how do we do the text? Title key regex, so it's really the same. Okay, so, I don't like this. Specifically, Denote Obsidian is the problem. Sorry, Markdown Obsidian is the problem because it's a generic thing where it is just the title. Let me go again to Denote Obsidian. Oh, actually, I had it in the Scratch. So Scratch here. Title key regex. Yeah, this is terrible. This is terrible. But what else can we do? What else can we do to make this a bit better? Maybe there is an alternative here. So that we don't have to um, do any kind of fancy things. Maybe there is a better way to approach this. But let me get to the comments because there are a couple of comments. We have a thanks, you are welcome. So you can change a version like that. Can't you just have the title value function return nil if it's not actually a fitting type title? So yes, of course. So that could return nil, but this is specifically for the value. So the idea is that we search for the regular expression and then we have a way to get the value out of that. Maybe it will be easier if we see some case here. Actually, let's go to org. Maybe org is the easiest. So we have the front matter. Where is org? We have the front matter here. So it would be title like this. Actually, let's go to a file below here. Okay, actually, let's dismiss this. We don't care about it. What happened? Okay, good. So the title value function, let's see. And of course, it's a good opportunity for me to revisit this. Oh, okay. This is to return the string as is. Okay, now I understand. This is because for other cases, we are doing fancier things. So let's see, what do we do here? Here, like this. What do we do here? Format, because it might exist inside of quotes. So, it might exist inside of quotes. But wouldn't that be the same? Let me do here denote format string org. Oh no, org front mat. No, this is not. Sorry, what was it? What was the thing? Denote org function. No. Oh, come on. Denote file types here. Okay, this is what I want. Okay, and if I were to take this string here, it would return it as is. What exactly are we doing here? Why do we even have this? So, what would be the difference? Wait, so if I were to do this, denote format, what was the other one, the markdown? MD, format string for MD front matter, okay. Okay. Yes, I guess we want to preserve the quotes because it's YAML. And with YAML, I remember also for my website, I have always had issues with the front matter and the quotes there. So, yeah, I don't remember why I did this, but I probably had my reason for it, so I will keep it. But that returning nil, let's see actually how this is used. Let's go and see the denote value function, because now, of course, I don't remember how it is used, so I have to go check. Let's see the value function. So it's only used here. So it's not used. Of course, this will just take. Okay, so the value function. So if there is a title string, we use it. Okay, so this value function is innocuous. There is no reason for this to return nil. What we care about here, actually, I should do the thing with the registers. I keep coming back to this, but this is fine now. What we care about here is something more, a little bit more sophisticated, because the regular expressions may exist. There may be more than one. So the user earlier that was commenting about Markdown YAML being mistaken for Markdown Obsidian is because they had a level 1 heading. And of course, technically, that's wrong because we should allow level 1 headings. It shouldn't just change the file type. So here we need a more accurate way of saying, you know what, you have front matter, therefore we rely on that. We don't just go to the heading. So I have to think how best to approach this. I still haven't thought about it. But let's see. We have more questions in the comments. So let me try to understand. Denote currently uses the regex and then applies the value function on the rest of the line after the regex. Basically, that's the idea, yes. Or does it use title as a placeholder? No, no, no. So the regex is real. So it searches and then it actually, let's go and see earlier where we're denote title function, title value function. Okay. So let's see where this is used here. So this is when we format the front matter. Okay. So when we format the front matter, we just take the string. So we don't do any regex here. So I was wrong. We just take the string and we format it. Basically, that's the idea. So this is a super simple function. It doesn't try to be smart. So there is that. The reverse, we have a concept of reverse, actually, reverse function. Let's see. Reverse function. And where is this used? Oh, nowhere. Nowhere. Okay, so why is this not used anywhere? Why is this not used anywhere, folks? Fix me, or to do, or fix me. Why is this not used anywhere? Do we actually need anything related to getting the title value? Yes, so how do we get the title value now? Of course, now I'm lost here. How do we get the value of a title when we do the denote retrieve file name title? Denote retrieve file name title. Denote title regex. Oh, what is this? Ah, this is for the file. Sorry. Denote retrieve and then title. There is another one. Front matter. Denote retrieve front matter. Denote retrieve title value. Denote retrieve from matter title value. Here. So where is this? Where is this? Where is this defined? Oh, it's in the macros above. Okay. So it should be this one. Let's see. Denote retrieve from matter value from content. Okay. Search forward title key regex of the file type. So what is title key regex? Return the title key. Okay, so, and then there is the reverse function. So it is used. Okay, it is used. Let me actually go back to that to-do that I wrote. And it is used here. So why didn't I match it? Is this the one? Define, yes. So where is the reverse here? It's right there. Oh, okay. So let's actually go back here. Let's have it here. This is used in the I could not find it with a search, which made me think it was not being used. Okay, so that is when we retrieve the title. So this is a different operation. It's not related to what we want to do in that case, where we just want to guess what is the file type of the given file. So let me commit this, add a comment related to to where is called. So let's have that. Okay. And yeah, let me see something in the comments. Have you heard of let over lambda by Hoyt? No, but it sounds interesting. It seems to be related to Lisp. So I'm happy to learn more actually. So yeah, you can provide the relevant information if you have it available. So there is that. What I was saying there is that we are searching for a simple way to define the file type heuristics. So we have the denote file type. So given a file, and given that the file has potentially many types for it, this is the only scenario, right? So this is the scenario where for example, we have Markdown and there are 3 file types. So in this scenario, we have to perform a more exhaustive kind of check. In the scenario where there is only one file type, we just return that. What do we do here? Here we return, okay, in the case of many file types, which we cannot determine, which we return what the user prefers. And actually, this may be the solution, folks. This right here, instead of coming up with increasingly complex heuristics, it's better to just say, you know what, we cannot establish some reliable result, so we just default to the denote file type. But let me see here. How would we know here? Because of course this would match. So the problem is that this matches. The only scenario here is that this doesn't match. So here, okay, I will remove this. I will remove this. And of course, we will also write the test. Now that I'm doing this, I have to write the test as well. So we only have one file type. So we use it. And probably I can rewrite this function because, of course, we have car of file types. So that's the case. Here, it's the car of the seek find. Yeah, this I already don't like. So there are many file types, it means here. And for the first of them, so we return the first that, no. So there are many file types. From these, we return the first, and then we return the car of that. The first that matches something. So, okay, so there are many file types. So I would like to have that here. So the length is greater than 1, okay? So we can remove this. So the length is greater than 1, okay? And can we do an and let? Let's do an and let here. So the length is greater than 1, okay? Like this. And, sorry, it's an extra parenthesis. So the length is greater than 1, and found is that, in which case we do the car of found. Actually, I want to do a when let, sorry. Let's do when let. Okay, so the car of found, which is, come on, what happened? Okay, here. Okay, so if we have more than one, let's just return the first one that matches this. And from that, let's return the car of it. If we have more than one, and then let's return this. Okay, otherwise, let's return that. If the user has picked something like Markdown TOML, and this is a Markdown file, we can fall back to this. So we have many file types. So let's check if, but actually this is a useless test now that I'm thinking about this. If we have many file types, what's the point of checking? Like, just get the first one? Why not get the first one that the user uses? But this is not, this is not going to be the first one among the matching file types. This will be just the user's preference. So if there are many markdown file types, but the user has selected a specific flavor of markdown, then and only then we do that. Okay. We have many, so this is correct then. We have many file types, so let's check. Let's get the first. The first that has a matching regex for a title. Here we did not find we did not find a regex for title, so we check if Denote file type is one among the types. Actually, this should be done before. No, look, this is sloppy. This is not good. I don't like this code. This should be done before. Like, if the denote file type is among those, then what are we even checking? Like, that's your choice. If it's not among those, then we try to find the first one, which is inherently wrong. Like, what's the point of finding the first one? Like, the first one, the first one. I will write the test now and see. I will now express this formally in the test and see. But to me, this doesn't look right. Is there a difference between Markdown and Markdown Obsidian? As in, is there a Markdown Obsidian major mode? Then you could just check the major mode. Unfortunately, all the major modes here will be Markdown mode. The difference is in how they store the front matter. So, for example, I have to find it. I forgot how I called it. Here. So, for example, this is YAML. I will do another one here. So it's TOML. And my TOML file here. And testing Denote. Okay. So this is another style. And this should work as well. And of course, I can link to the Markdown here. This is Markdown. I can link to that. By the way, one second. Let me do consult denote mode. Let me disable it because for the streams, maybe consult is a little bit disorienting. So I have that here. So it did work. The link is correct. Can I actually follow it? It will work. And if I do the, oh, sorry, this I didn't want. If I do the backlinks, I get the backlinks here. It's everything in order. So of course you can expand and contract the backlinks. That's a nice little thing over there. So this should work. So the difference is this. Now, if I do an Obsidian file, do I have Obsidian? Did I register it? Okay, so my Obsidian document. And by the way, I have never used Obsidian, folks. So this is based on what people told me. So if it's wrong, I'm happy to adjust it. So Obsidian by default will do something like this. Is this something we want? And let me actually add a link again to that file. Again, it should work. This is Markdown mode again. So I keep fat fingering that. Okay, so it works. This is something we want. Okay, yeah, it works. This works fine. So let me actually add a link now to that Obsidian thing here. And the link. So let's do the Obsidian. Obsidian, yeah, here. Okay, there is that. Follow the link. It takes me there. Get the backlinks. Okay, so everything works here. And it's just a mat. And actually, you notice that it also got this correctly over here. Let me try this. Rename from front matter. Actually, I haven't tested this thoroughly. Did it do it? Let me see. It did rename from the front matter. So yeah, actually, I would say this is good. This is good. So the only problem really is with figuring out what is the file type. But maybe that's not really a problem anymore. So We will see if this is an issue. But anyway, I want to write a test for this. So I think this is better here, this order at least. So um, if we have more than one, and if the user has a preference among those, then use that. Like, I struggle to think of a scenario, a realistic scenario at least, where the user has Markdown YAML and Markdown TOML and Markdown Obsidian, and basically doesn't have a preference among them. Or, yeah. Saying that, though, it still feels wrong for us to do heuristics, like, or at least heuristics of this kind. We should be a bit more accurate, a bit more careful, perhaps. But ultimately, this is a heuristic, so a better heuristic is still a heuristic. So I don't want to rely too much on this. So I will say this should be the first. And if there are any issues, I will get a bug report and I will fix it. This should be the first. Like, the user basically has a preference, and we just go with that preference. What do we have here is that we found the first that we found here, and we just returned that. It's the first that has um, something we are searching for, a title in that case. Otherwise, it's the first type that we support. The car among types, that's good. So that would be a better thing. I will go write the test now. Let me check the comments 1 second. An Obsidian-like wiki link is formatted like this with two square brackets. If you see that in a Markdown file, then you can be more confident that it is Obsidian. But those links would be incompatible with Denote, I guess. Yeah, that's the thing. And then, of course, that means also that we have to basically have an arbitrary kind of search. And this is what I was thinking out loud of doing with the denote file types. And maybe that's actually the best way, denote file types. In which case, I will again reverse the order. Like, there should be like a test here. Actually, I will write it here. There should be like a keyword specific for the test, but it should be a function. I will write it here as a function. So let's write it here. Let me see how to call it now. So this is a file type. Let's have it here. File type function. Let's call it get file type function. Get file type function nil. So I want to put, actually, let's put it first so that it's easier for me to see it. So let's have this. And this is actually the best approach. So here we will have denote get file denote markdown YAML. Let's call it denote get file type markdown YAML. Okay, and then let's do the same for TOML. And this now should be unambiguous. So with this, we will check for this. If this doesn't exist, then we rely on heuristics. And here, it's just nil. And I want to document this here, extension. A function to return, a function that returns the symbol of the no, let me rewrite. A function that reads the buffer to a function with no arguments, actually. With no arguments that reads the buffer and returns the file type as a symbol or nil. Okay, so we have that. So I will go define those functions. So we have the TOML and YAML. Okay, let's actually put them here. So defun, what do I have the others before? Yes, let's put them here, there. Actually, these could go after as well, but let's put it here. So, okay, we have that. Maybe it should be with the file. Let me see 1 second. For org front matter. So there is that format. I want to see, okay, it should take a file actually. It should take a file. So let me actually do here. Okay, so this is a case, folks, of me thinking out loud because I hadn't an idea that I would even encounter this. And of course, that's how it is. Like when I don't know, I have to go back and forth, back and forth. A function with one parameter, a given file, that reads the file contents, and returns the file type as a symbol or nil. So we have that, and we want to come here now, and with current buffer, we could do with temp buffer, insert file contents, the file, go to char. Sorry, 1 second, because it keeps highlighting everything there. Return markdown YAML if file has YAML front matter. YAML front matter starts with on the first line. Okay, so like that, go to char, point min, looking at, and then we are looking at here, 1, 2, 3. This is what we are looking at. And I think that would be good. Of course, if we are looking at that, markdown YAML. Okay, let's actually go test this first of all. So if I do it here, buffer file name, this should return nil. Beautiful. Let's see. If I do it here, nil again. If I do it here, markdown YAML. Okay, I like this. I like this. This is good. Of course, I could have two functions or one function, and here we have a regex, but I will just have two functions. Like, it's not worth here doing that. Oh, format, and I don't want to put the plus sign and escape it for like that. Make string, and the length is 3, and the integer is that. This is a 3, okay. That's correct. Actually, I will do the same for the other for the sake of consistency. So they look the same. Let's have it like this. Okay, so like that, and this is for Toml. So here, wherever we have YAML, that should be Toml. So do we have anywhere else? Oh, we have two here. So Toml with here like that, and this is Toml. Okay, like this. This is now more reliable. Like this is better. I want to go to Denote Markdown now and do something like this for that as well. So let's go to Denote Markdown here, and we can have here, and it was the get file type. Oh, sorry. Let's actually put this here. Denote get file type markdown obsidian. Of course, I call it markdown obsidian, but in reality, it's generic markdown. But we call it obsidian because people know that better, apparently. So me, I don't mind. So I'm like, okay, no problem. Obsidian. Return Markdown Obsidian if file only has a title. Also C, and then what I want is denote get file markdown YAML and the toml here, like this. So there is that. Okay, so here we will do the check. So what we want to do here, it's simply this. So it's simply this, actually. It's simply this. So maybe I should write a small macro for this to have, nah, it's not worth it. Okay, let's have that. Okay, so let's go back to Denote and we will use this. So we have the get file type function. If there if the function, if there is no function, there is no function, Denote will fall back to search for a title in the front matter. And the title will be pair title key regex. Okay, and for the sake of clarity, this will go. Actually, no, I want it towards the top. No, yeah, I'm not sure. Let's have it at the bottom here. No, actually, let's have it at the top so that it is positionally where it is also in the code, in the value. So we have that, and this we actually want to document in the manual first. Denote file types. Let's see, denote file types. Wait. Define a custom. Okay. So I think I don't explain in the manual what it is, and I rely on people reading the docstring here. Denote file types. Okay, okay, it is like that. Denote file types. Okay, actually it's here. Here, let's have this. Okay. And let's have it like this, which is right below. I hate it when it breaks it like that and I have to do it manually. Okay, so which is described below. So we have that as part of dev. So this is part of the development version. Let's actually go here, which is described below. Okay, so that's good. And now we will implement this. So let's go to denote file type here, and we will implement this here. So the order here was okay. So let's try this. Of course, that would be here. Let's do here. When there is that, we want to do plist get of this, the CUDA of type, wait. So the type among types, okay, so that's the p list in the type. So we can just have here when let get file type function, file type fn. So when this exists, actually we don't need something else. It shouldn't be ignoring errors. Why would it ignore errors? This is better. Like if it doesn't exist, just stop. Actually, no. Now that I'm thinking about this, it's better to have both cases. No. We won't have both cases. I want this to be a little bit more robust. And it won't fall back to the title, which means that I have to go change the documentation. So it won't fall back to the title, but maybe that's actually a breaking change. Maybe I should be more conservative. So let's actually be a bit more careful here. Let's actually have that. Ignore errors like this. And then let's have, wait, so properties, it's the CUDA of type. Let's have that here and plist get from the properties. Okay, so we have that. And here, what we want to do is plist get from the properties. We want to get the title key regex. And this closes the lambda. Okay, let me confirm that I didn't butcher this. Oh no, it shows too many changes. Okay, but the part here is title key regex. Okay, let's actually leave this. So it's better to have this fallback, but eventually I might want to remove all that. The CUDA of type, of course, this has to be inside. Here. And it closes there. Okay, so let that, if we have that, then let's search for that. Otherwise, let's search for the title. Why would this return errors though? Research forward. Okay, what kind of error could we get? File with temp buffer. Actually, this I might want to use. No, that's a reverse function. Okay, let's leave it. Let's not try to go into that. That's looking fine. Here, I just want to do a fun call. Fun call that with the file. So I would just want to do that. So that's okay. And okay, that's good. Let's go and write the test, folks. Let's go and write the test. And we can go to the bottom. ERT def test, DT, and this. And test that denote file type does what it is meant to. Okay, so this is actually not that simple, but I will think about it very quickly. Let me check the chat. I think I saw something earlier moving. The arbitrary kind of, the arbitrary kind of search was what I was going for with the value function, but proper architecture is not easy, especially since I don't know Denote's internals. I need to go. Good luck and have fun. So thank you very much. But yeah, your suggestion, your idea is right. I think this is what I'm doing now, and we will see how that goes. So for now, we need to create a file, and it has to have some contents. Let me see. Do I have other tests where I create a file? because now I need to. Do I have something like that? No. Okay, let's write it on here. So let's not worry. So let's do with Markdown. Let's do with Markdown here. With temp file. So the file will be called Denote test, Denote file type. Okay, and this will be YAML. So YAML, let's have that. So we have YAML. Okay, so with temp file, what we want to do is insert. Actually, maybe it would be easier if we were to create a denote file. But this is fine, actually. Denote MD, not link, denote front matter, MD. What is it called? Denote YAML front matter. Okay, denote YAML from matter, it will be that. I don't mind at all the %s. So it will be that. If you do with temp file, that returns the file? No. What does that do? With temp file. Actually, I can expand the macro. Temp file, temp buffer. Okay, so, okay, we would want to have here expand file name. And here we want to do the temporary. No, actually, there is another one. You can do a make temp file. Make temp file. And this will be the prefix. So that's fine. With the file and then save buffer. So will this create the file? Let me see. Save in. No. Why? Wait. Make temp file, that creates the file. Okay, let's actually have the file. Let's have the path. Path, let's have it there. And I will call it path YAML, actually. So path YAML. So we have that over there, path YAML, like this. So for the file YAML, this does not work though with current buffer, maybe. With current buffer, find file, no select. I have a feeling that there is a way to do this with temp file directly and then save buffer. Like this should work now. Okay, and then should actually we can get even the file type fn, which will be, no, actually we don't want to check that. Should eq denote file type of the file YAML should be markdown YAML here. It should be markdown YAML. It should not, wait, it should not be markdown TOML. No, wait. It should be markdown YAML. That's for sure. It should not be nil, actually. Let me check here. No, actually, let's try this. First of all, let's try this. Did I evaluate? Emacs ERT, denote file type. What? Test is unbound. Test is unbound. What is happening? Denote file type. Did I not evaluate? Denote test is unbound. What is this? ERT. Okay. Wrong type argument. Test. Okay. What do I do wrong here? Let's 1 second remove that. What does that do? String p. Get file extension. Oh my goodness, there is no file extension. Okay. So if you do a temp file, let's see. Can I do a suffix? Okay, there is a suffix, and the suffix is MD. Do I need to put the dot? Let's see. Suffix, add to the. Okay, let's actually see. No. Okay, so you have to put the dot. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Okay, let's do the test again. Something is not right here. It gives telling me this. Disambiguate that function. Okay. Let's do here. Okay, I see what the error was. So denote test. Okay, here, denote test, denote file type. That's what we want. Okay, so we still have an error. Let me go to the scratch. This we can remove now. Let's see, we can clear this. What is the error? File name non-directory. Oh my goodness, what is all this? Denote file type of nil. What do you mean nil? Okay, let's evaluate. So we have a file there. Find file no select. In that file, write something. Save the buffer. File YAML. What? Path YAML. So of course, okay. So what I was doing earlier, of course, is useless. So this should be path YAML. Then it should be that. Then it should be the EQ. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so then it should be the EQ here. Okay, let's have it like that. Okay, so let's confirm. That's right. Okay, so that's what happens if we have YAML. Let's have here TOML, and we can have actually here TOML. But now what we want to do, yeah, I think this is correct. Oh, sorry, here it should be TOML. Let's see. That's fine. For org, I will not do any kind of thing here. Let's do org. Let's see here. Path for org. There is that. It shouldn't insert anything. Or, yeah, we could insert. Let's insert the org font matter. And this should be org. Let's see. Okay, that's good. We are always creating a new file though, so which I don't like every time a new file. So what I will do is erase buffer here. And actually, I like the idea of having a function. Let modify file fn. So this will be a lambda. Let's come here. And this will be a lambda of file. So it takes the file. It should be a file and then contents. It takes the file, it inserts the contents, and saves the buffer. So that's better. Let's now come here. And what we have here is YAML. Okay. So fun call this with this and this. Okay, that's better. Yeah, that's better. So this is for Tommel, and that's Tommel, and here it is for org. Okay, so that looks promising. Let's confirm. But I didn't do the thing with the, I still have the part where we are creating the file. I don't want to be recreating it every time. So what I want to do is expand file name. Let me think. Create file fn, which is lambda of scope, or of a string. Let's call it string. That's fine. So expand file name. I will call it, yeah, leave it here, like of type, or it could be name. Let's call it name. Okay. So denote test file type, and then here is the name, and this is in the temporary file directory, like this. Okay, that's good. So what we want to do now is here, I don't even need the let now anymore. So, this could actually be part of this. Nice. So it could be part of that. So instead of file, it takes a name, and then it will say let the file be fun call this with the name that I will give it. So let this be the file, and then we have that. So here we have YAML, simple as. So we have YAML like that, and then we call the test. But I would need, of course, it can do that and return file. So then it does them all in one go. So then here should it be equal to markdown, like this. Okay, that's cleaner. That's nicer. Let's actually write it 3 times like this. So no, wait. Here, wait. 2, 2. Okay, here. So here what we want is Tommel, and we have here Tommel, and here we have org. I didn't see, so I could have changed it, but no worries. Let's see here, org, and this is Tommel. Okay, looks a bit cleaner. Let me make the thing here. Of course, erroneous. Let's see. Should equal. The value was nil because why? So of course I will test this. That's what happens when you write really abstract code, and now you cannot make sense of it. Let's go to the scratch. And I think I saw a comment there, so I'm coming. 1 second, please. Let's actually debug. And let's see here. So this creates. No, this shouldn't return a file. Okay, this we give it a name. It shouldn't return a file. It should just return. Wait. Now I got confused. Modify fn. So in the modify fn, we were doing something. We will have to go and do the. Wait. So with a file, that returns file. And so what we want to do is denote file type over the file, like that. So it returns nil. Okay, let me see. But this is what it should be anyway. So here, fun call. So I can come here, denote file type like that. And yeah, let me check now. And I'm coming to the chat. Okay, wrong. Let me come to the chat, of course. I'm trying to be smart. First, you write the code and then you abstract it. I tried to go the other way around, but I will learn. So Link Arzu, of course, from the wonderful Link Arzu channel. So Christian, we also did a chat together. What editor is this? NeoVim? Chad. Yeah, it's a NeoVim, but with a few extras, which makes it better. Of course, I'm kidding. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, I tried to be too smart here for no good reason. So we have the file, we go to the file, we do some edits to that file, and then we return the file path. And then on that file path, we do this. Okay, but it shouldn't return an error. Let me see. Markdown YAML, Markdown TOML, and Denote front matter org. Let me see what was the error. Nil. Okay, so it returns nil. Okay. We will see why. We will see why. We will see why this returns nil. Let's see here. What does this return? Let's evaluate, folks. Fun call. The function here. Okay, so this function will create the file. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, name with extension. Yeah, this is not good what I did basically here. It's too busy with extension. Okay, so if it's with extension, so it has to be like this. What about now? Oh, um, of course. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, it's not good anyway because I will keep the two functions separate, but for completeness, I will just evaluate. Did I do this? Modify file fn, name extension contents, and then what is the error now? Name extension, where are the contents? Sorry, of course, here. Yeah, I will not write it like this anyway, so this of course works, but I will not write it like this. They should be separated. This should just take a file and contents. Now it's trying to be too smart. File and contents. So this shouldn't be here. Just find the file and do the edits. Nothing else. That should be easy because otherwise it's hard to reason about. And this creates a file with an extension. That's fine. Okay, so let's go here and have this. Okay. So we have the create file fn, which we will use now. Let's have here the YAML file, because of course I also want to have here the fun call of create a file fn with YAML and MD. And now I want to do the same with TOML. And I want to do the same with org. Of course, I could have it if there is no extension, just use the name, but this is okay. Okay, so we have the files. And now what we want to do is here, this should be with the YAML file. No, now we have the thing where we haven't modified them. Okay, so we have to run this and then do the YAML file. I will just do prog n here, just so that I group them like that. And maybe that is easier. Yeah. Let's have it here, and this should be the TOML file. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really happy with what I did here. It feels busy, but maybe that's what we need. Org file. Okay, let's see. Did I finally write it? Let's see what we did, folks. Okay, of course, another error. Markdown Obsidian. Okay, good, good, good. So we got this because in the TOML file, it didn't actually return TOML. Okay, so that's a good thing. Let me now go to the tests here. So here, if I were to do this, get file type for markdown TOML. Wait, what? Did I not evaluate denote.dl? Nil, okay, that's right. And if I do denote file type, markdown obsidian, okay, that's fine. So let's go here again. Let me do the test. Error. Because, okay, so here, this is a TOML file. What does this return? It returns TOML. Did I do the right thing here? Insert contents. So modify the file fn. So here we have front matter that. Well, let me go to the TMP once again. Of course, a million of them. Let's actually delete them all and yeah, do it again. Oh, come on. Can I not do yes to all? Okay. Okay, good. Let's do that. Okay, so it fails. Let's go to the TMP. Oh, of course it fails. What is this? Of course it fails, because then what happened? Where is my test? Save buffer. What? Why? Denote test file type, expand file name in the temporary file directory. Of course, create file fn. That's the file. So modify the file fn, which of course should be the file. Of course, I said it and I didn't do it. So that's the YAML file. That's the TOML file. Okay, and that's the org file. Okay, let's see. So this should do it. Okay, this does it. And the second time it should run faster. Okay, because it doesn't have to create the files again. Okay, so that does it. What should be the error now? Like it should not equal markdown TOML. I will include markdown obsidian as well. Should not also equal org, of course. Though, do I really need to check? Because, of course, I think this is superfluous. Like, the only scenario where this works is if this is actually matching. I don't need to check all the cases of it is not matching. So maybe I can say should not be nil, but that's fine. This will not return nil, though, anyway. It will return the first it finds. So, okay, that's good. It's not a exhaustive test, so maybe I can do something better. Oh, there is some comments in the chat. Oh man, I got burned. Oh, that's fine. No worries. Hey, Prod, Do you not find complete black background harsh? I always gravitate towards a more faded, less contrasty background. Um, it is harsh if you use the brightness of your monitors, if you set it to the maximum. Then it can be harsh for sure. And of course, it also depends on the environmental light. Like if you have like very low light and then you just have the monitor set up to high brightness, and then you have full black with full white, then of course you are not making any service to your eyes. Then of course you will feel overwhelmed. In that case, a faded background would be better. I agree for sure. But for me, it's actually better to have high contrast at the level of the colors, and then tweak with the brightness of the monitor, tweak that, and play around with the environmental light. That's my idea in general. Of course, I could also just change to another theme now. I am using the Doric themes today, so which is one of my theme packages. Let me try to find something a little bit less contrasty, but of course, they are all fairly contrasty, so I'm not sure what we can do. Let's do this mermaid. So maybe that's a bit better for you. Let's have that for now. And I want here, let's have it like this. Okay, let's see what is the next one. Hey, Link Arzu, appreciated your interviews with Prot and Kitty Dev COVID. Or COVID, don't remember. And then Link Arzu says, I appreciate that, which is nice. Yeah, Link Arzu has great content. So, of course, check it out. Hi, Prot. Don't you use AI to code? The answer is no. I don't have anything against it. I mean, from a programming standpoint, of course, you can make political arguments of which I would be partial to, I would actually agree with. But from a programming standpoint, I have nothing against it. Like if it produces good code, it's good code. I don't mind if the computer wrote it or if a human wrote it. What matters is that it is actually good code. You can maintain it. All the things that you would consider good in a piece of program. What I don't like and why I don't use it is I don't like the experience. Like for me to sit around here and basically chat and get some code written, it's not fun. I enjoy the process of thinking things through and trying to understand my problem and my solution to the problem by writing it. And for me, this trial and error, as I am doing here, is more fun. And ultimately, this is the reason I am doing all this is because I just enjoy it. So if I had to produce code for some company, let's say, and this company sets specific deadlines like, yay, today you have to fix all these 10 issues. Tomorrow you have to write these many lines of code, close those tickets and whatnot. Then, of course, I would be more pressured to not seek fun and seek results, at which point using AI makes perfect sense, right? Whereas here, I am just playing around. For me, this is a video game, basically. So it's kind of fun. And I wouldn't want to give that fun away to the bots. So there is that. Let's see. Are the current tests you are writing for Obsidian compatible Denote nodes? I really enjoy Doric Marble and Doric Obsidian. Okay. But now I switched to this one, so I will keep this theme for now. The tests I am writing here are for the file type. So for our purposes, for the denote purposes, we care about the file type so that we can figure out how to retrieve data from the file if we need to. For example, if we need to get the title, well, what is the regular expression we should use to get the title? That sort of thing. So for our purposes, the file type is really the content. So we don't really care if it's running Markdown mode or org mode or if it has some other extension. In this case, specific to the Obsidian application. Like we don't care about any of that. So what we have here are heuristics. So they are not perfect, but they should be good enough. That's the hope, anyway. Let's see here. I fear the new generation will grow up with LLMs integrated into everything and will lose the ability to deeply research and deeply understand things. Well, there is, of course, a possibility that this happens. And the hope, I guess, for those who are optimistic about the prospects of LLMs or AI at large, the hope is that AI will become so good that you don't really need to understand things too deeply. It basically thinks 2 steps or 10 steps ahead of you, and you just tell it what you want. And it works a little bit like the genie. You just wish for something, and it grants you that wish. However, in the scenario that you outline, that's not a good outcome, of course, because if you have people that are responsible of critical stuff, of course, this is not really critical, right? So what I'm doing here is a relatively small program for a tiny group of users online. But imagine you have it for something that is mission critical, and you have people who don't really understand what is happening. That is, of course, troublesome. That would put me in a situation where I wouldn't feel comfortable anymore when it comes to the authorities doing what they are supposed to. You see what I'm saying? So imagine you have like a police service that where nobody actually knows how they are profiling people based on the AI they are using, which of course is actually happening anyway. Like, what kind of civil society will we have if you just have criminal proceedings following following decisions that you don't really understand how they were made, the profiling, how was that made, and so on. So, yeah, there are many cases you can think of where this is going to be highly problematic. So, expertise, for as long as people are responsible, they really need to know what they are doing. Of course, if people are no longer responsible, like if somehow this changes, and AI could be responsible, or the operators of AI could be responsible, or the providers of AI, or I don't know who. But if anyhow we change our current understanding of responsibility, then maybe knowing stuff isn't that important. But that is just science fiction at this point. We are too far away from such an eventuality. People will remain responsible for the foreseeable future, and so they better know what they are doing. And with that, let's continue with here with the test, folks. So this is not an exhaustive test, but I wonder what would be an exhaustive test for the denote file type. Like, what would be a test? Because here we don't check for an error condition. Like, we assume that that there are types. Of course, it could return nil if there are no types. So we can just check for that as well. Um, is there a scenario where this would return an error? Types for extension. Extension could be nil as well, in which case this would be nil, in which case we can just return nil. So let me do then, let's actually be here. And here we can do with an arbitrary file, should not. And here we can have like just a test. If I were to do that, it will return nil. Of course, that's good. So should not nil. Of course, I want to also test. So this will be nil. If it's actually like .md, what does this do? Markdown Obsidian, because I put it in the front, I think. Yes, I put it in the front. So maybe that's okay. Maybe that's okay. That's not a problem, I think. But it should not. So I want to say here, let denote file types be nil, right? So this should return nil again. Okay. And that's a better test now. Let's see. Okay, so that's a good. Let's commit this. Of course, I would like to test Obsidian, but I don't have it here. It's a different package. And because it's small, I don't need to test it. So there is that. Let's have here get file function. So let's commit it, separate commits. So let's have that here, 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 and here, and this. So add a get to the denote file types. So it's that. Okay. Of course, I could also check if the function returns nil, but that would be nil anyway. Actually, I don't know if that would be nil because maybe we will continue to the other. So that's an uncharted territory. Let's see here. So actually, that belongs to the previous commit, but anyway. Incorporate to the denote file type function. Incorporate or incorporate in, right? Or let's say, yeah, add to. That's fine. We don't need to think too hard. Okay, and then here let's write a test for denote file type. Okay, let's commit all this. I wanted to go to the TMR package. I haven't done that yet. So did I commit? Did it push? Okay. Did it? Why is it so slow? Okay. I want to go to the TMR package, but apparently I spent all my time on Denote. Let me check the comments and then we continue. Um, here, do you sometimes get annoyed by the proliferation of markdown files? .md seems to be everywhere, even though it is inferior to org in almost every way. There should be more org files all around us. Yes, fair enough. The thing is that org is really Emacs centric, even though there are other editors that are now trying to use org more and more. I believe NeoVim has a pretty good port of org mode. I think VS Code even has a good extension for org. But yeah, otherwise, it's the less known file format. Markdown is ubiquitous. It has been everywhere. Of course, it is used by many of the mainstream applications. I think even in chat, like in Slack, for example, you can write Markdown. So even in chat boxes, Markdown is introduced there. So yeah, you are fighting against something that is literally everywhere. And I don't see how you can overcome that. With org now, specifically with org, part of the appeal is not the markup itself. It's like what you add on top of it, which is all the Emacs Lisp, specifically for the Emacs implementation at least, all the Emacs Lisp we have on top. So, for example, you can fold the headings, you can go to the next heading, you can generate an agenda, you can put a timestamp, you can shift the date, you can move the bullet points up and down, you can do the same with the paragraphs. You can have code blocks, all the features of org, not to belabor that point. So it's all those extras that you can do with the markup. And that is not something that will be applied to a chat box, for example. So in a chat box, let me just write it here in the scratch. So let's imagine that the chat supports Markdown. So you can say like hello and then world, right? And you make that, you add an emphasis to that. So would it really make much of a difference if we were to do this, for example, for org? Like at this point, basically they are the same, right? If you reduce it to this kind of feature, where org would excel is for all the other stuff that you can do with org. Then yes, org is great, of course, it's very good. that granted, of course, Markdown in Emacs actually is pretty decent as well because you have all the features such as folding headings and moving up and down in headings. Um, Maybe I can show you here. So heading and then test and then another heading and you can fold, you see. So it's not org because it doesn't have all the extras, but at least if you have to work with this markup, at least you have something that you can work with. So it gives you that. And then, of course, Control N, Control P, Control C, Control N, Control C, Control P to go through the headings. So, yeah, there is that. Let me see the other comment. It's tangential to something called Lindy effect. Popularity defines usage, and it's a feedback loop. More usage leads to more popularity and so on. So, Lindy effect, I'm not familiar with it, but I believe what you are describing is also called the snowball effect, right? So, it starts small, but it gains momentum and it builds from there, I guess. But the Lindy effect is more descriptive in this case because it speaks specifically about the popularity and the feedback loop it has. Like, and this applies, of course, to many other things, not just the usage of something. Like, if you are more well known, you are more listened to, and therefore people will recommend you to others. So then you are even more well known, and so on. So yeah, that's an interesting thing. I'm curious where Lindy effect. What does Lindy stand for? Like, where does that come from? Maybe it's the name of the person who came up with that. So let's see. We can delete this. Where are we, folks? How are we doing in terms of hours? So it's been 2 hours already. Oh my goodness. Time really flies, but I am having a lot of fun. I don't mind at all. Let me see. Would you consider making Markdown the new org within Emacs? Eliminate org mode and make it Markdown so that within Emacs, Markdown is more special? Like, there is nothing that prevents us from doing that, actually. So, um, you would need to introduce a few more features such as timestamps and to-do states. But actually, would you need to? Like, the timestamps I can understand, but um, for to-do states, maybe you wouldn't even need them. Like, you could have like the way you have it in org, and then Emacs Lisp can read it. The problem, the real problem, is interoperability. Like, imagine we go ahead and we extend Markdown mode in Emacs, okay? So it can support to-do states, it can support tags for headings, it can have a properties drawer, all the nice things that org does with the headings, right? That Markdown file, rather, sorry, that Markdown file is basically an org file in the sense that it's Emacs focused. You cannot take that file and just put it somewhere else and expect it to be understood as a Markdown file. So Markdown gives you interoperability because it's kind of everywhere. The moment you change Markdown in Emacs, you don't really gain anything. At best, you will reinvent org. So I don't think that's worthwhile. With org, the advantage is that it was created for Emacs, so it had a lot of time to develop and stabilize. And now, if it's ported to other editors, we won't have any issues of the sort we see in the Markdown space, where there are different flavors of it. So, like, there is a GitHub flavored Markdown, for example, which is different from other kinds of Markdown. I don't even remember the names of the different flavors, and these can create small interoperability issues. Basically, you won't have your Markdown file work everywhere. So I think what really matters is not the feature set ultimately, but if you can rely on that file being useful in other contexts. So generic Markdown makes that promise with the proviso that there are these different flavors. So it's not a very good promise. Org, on the other hand, has the markup at least is solid. I believe it's the same everywhere. And then at least Emacs org makes the promise that, well, all the features are available. So I don't know where the other editors are on that front. So yes, cool. Thanks for your comments. Very insightful as always. You're welcome. So I did this. Did I add this to the Denote Markdown? I don't even remember. Wait, where is Denote Markdown? Denote Markdown here. I did add it. Did I commit this? Okay, okay. I need to commit that, but I need to actually implement this. Oh, wait. Yeah, of course I disabled the bframe, and now I get confused, folks. Because I rely on bframe, which is another package of mine, to actually isolate buffers per frame. So now I am missing it. So no problem though. Let's come here. So this should be good. Insert file contents to the file, and then go to the minimum point and check if there is a title there, basically. So there is that. Okay. So add a, what's it called? Did I add a get file function per denote git commit. Okay. So we have that. I don't think I need to write a test for that. It's pretty easy to tell. So it's like this. Of course, if it's more than one, because earlier we had it, if it's equal to one, it should return the card. But here we check that it is more than one. Since I do the length here, should I? No, it's not really needed. Greater than one. Maybe I can check 1 second. I can change it a little bit to length this. When was this introduced? I always forget when was this introduced. 28. Where is the node depending? 28. So let's do it like this. It's the length. Well, do we get anything though? No, we don't. Let's leave it like this. If it's greater than one, this is fine. Yeah, okay, this is good. This is good. Use the file extension to detect the file type of file. If more than one file type corresponds to the file extension, check return the first file type whose get file type function returns non-nil. If get file function does not exist, is nil, rely on the title value, title key regex, and return the first matching file type. Use the denote file extension to if more than one file correspond to this file extension, pair denote file types, return the first file type whose get file function, file type function returns non-nil. If get file type function is nil, rely on the title key regex and return the first matching file type. Use the file extension to detect the file type of file. Do so in accordance with denote file types. No, not in accordance with. Do so. No, in accordance with, I like. If more than one file type corresponds to this, so this we don't want here then. If more than one, then return the first file type whose returns non-nil, blah, blah, blah. Return nil if the file type is not recognized. Specifically, return nil if file return nil actually if file does not have a known extension or there is no file type for that extension. Actually just that because no, actually let's do it like this. Would there be a scenario where these would return nil as well? These could also return nil if file is not recognized. Let's keep it generic. You know what? I think I use British English in my doc strings here. So do I have color, for example? No, I use, wait, let me see. Do I have color, like color? No. Okay, let's use American English. So actually the convention is if you have code in Emacs Git, the convention is you have to use American English. So for my Modus themes, I have to switch everything to American English. But for my other packages, I don't think I care. But this is anyway okay. So let's do that. What are these files? Okay, those are obviously wrong. Okay, so let's do that. Rewrite the doc string of this. And then, of course, I have to go change it here. Denote file type. There is the file type and there is a function. Denote file type here. Denote file. Oh, we haven't documented it. Let me see. Denote file type. A list of denote file type under format properties. Denote file types. File type is nil. Use the first element. Of course, there is a user option called denote file type, which of course confuses us. Denote file type. So that's always the okay. Denote. Let me see 1 second. I want to document this. Front matter interface for developers. Predefined node values for developers. File path interface for developers or a data retrieval interface. Prompt. No, these are the prompts. Data retrieval interface. Here I want to do the get. I want to also document those. Let me put the denote file type at the top. Denote file type, and this is a function. Denote file type. Yeah, I don't think I will get into TMR today, folks. I had the plan to get into it, but eventually I spent a lot of time here. So we will continue with this. That's totally okay. So not to worry, no problem, no stress. And what I want to do here is elisp to org code. That's good. But here specifically, it should be with this. Okay, so we have that revised as part of dev. Okay. Document denote file type function in the manual. Okay, and then I want to do a get identifier function. Why is this a variable? Okay. So, hmm. I don't like the name of this because get to me sounds like a. Of course, it's. I see what it is. Of course, we are getting the function to get the identifier. So maybe it should have been called function to get the identifier. But okay, it's fine. Let's not worry about that. So f index. Oh, sorry, I called this v index. It should be f. So f index. Um, For completeness, I will put this further down. Get identifier at point. Yeah, here's the problem. So this is get path ID, and that's a function. This is get identifier function. But okay, maybe because it's called the function, maybe that's fine. Get a path by whatever, retrieve, or whatever. Let me see 1 second. If we search for this, where is this? Do we have no? Why do I keep seeing the note mark here? I want the denote file types. So what I will want, for example, is this. Is this mentioned anywhere? Okay, so what heading is this? Front matter interface. So actually what I did here, where did I put it? Did I put it here? Data retrieval interface. Well, technically, this is not front matter, so I think that's fine. Now we want to go to the front matter. So front matter interface. And by the way, the reason I keep writing these repetitive headings is because people will jump to a heading and will not necessarily read through the whole manual. So they might lack context. That's why I write more verbose headings like this. So it's actually to help people. Let's see if I missed something in the comments. Would you consider making Markdown? Okay, we covered that. Cool. Thanks for your comments. Okay, so no comments here. Good. Let's continue. So we have the file type heuristics, org front matter, whatever. Here, trim, blah, blah, blah. I guess I can put them here. Of course, there is the v index. Here is where I will put it. So f index. And actually, I will tell you what these index thingies are in case you don't know. But let me just write it first, and I will tell you. So we have this, and then we have the other for toml. So this is a function, and this is okay. Return markdown yam. Actually, sorry. There is no reason to write it when we have it here. Okay, up, sloppy, like that. And then let's have it like this. I should have a variety, a variant of that command. Okay, so I guess I could do the same for YAML is toml. Let's do it like that. And here I would need to do this. Okay, so the same here. So we have that, and this is part of development as well. Part of dev here. Let's have that here. Okay. So let me see. I did that. Okay. So did I add the thing here? I did add it. Okay. Maybe they should say what these functions are for. Let's have this actually. That's good. Okay, so let's see. make sure the denote file type function is registered in the function index. Okay, and then document in the manual the functions to get the file type for YAML and POML. Okay, so there is that. Let's commit, and let me actually update my homepage. Here, okay, and here, update the note, like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I have to have that. Okay, so that's good. Very good, very good. Is there something else that I need to do with this, or did I cover all the cases? I think that's a good here. Let me see. So I did here part of development. Is there something else here that I would need to cover? Okay. Sorry. Ooh, I almost died. Wow. Wow, folks. I time out. I almost died there. Exaggerating, but yeah. Whoa. That was good. Yeah. Okay. So I'm alive, but I cannot talk anymore. Anyway, this is a good point to close it because I'm back. I'm alive, so I can talk. Yeah. This is a good I'm okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No problem. um so I actually, you know what? Let's go do some TMR. I won't close yet. Let's go and do some TMR as I promised. So with the note, I am covered. So that's good. Let's go to TMR. So there is that. Very good, very good. So what I wanted to do with TMR is specifically we have the repeat, which is a new thingy, and I want to document it and I want to test it a little bit. Let me see the comments 1 second. Are you fine, Prod? Remember to drink some water. Yes, yes. So sorry about that. Can you recommend any Lisp book to read and learn from? Um, there are, yeah, I don't know your level now, so yeah, but there are plenty of good ones. If you want specifically for Emacs Lisp, there is one built into Emacs called what's it called actually? EINTR. It's this one. An Introduction to Programming in Emacs Lisp. This is built into Emacs, so you can read that. I have also written the Emacs Lisp elements. So if we do protesilaos.com, I forget the exact path right now. It's somewhere in my Emacs here, and then it is the Emacs Lisp elements. So Emacs Lisp elements, there is a Git repo, and there is the website as well. In the Git repo, you will find PDF, EPUB, etc. So you can check that as well. So I don't know. I could put this in the chat if you want. Yeah, this is so I will actually send you the link to the control HI as well. So here, when you are in the info manuals, if you type control 0 and W, you can copy the code that if you evaluate it, it will take you to the manual. So if you evaluate this in your Emacs, control X, control E, it takes you straight to this manual over here, which is nice. Now, let me tell you 1 second before I switch to TMR. What was all that business with the F index and all this? Let's actually go to the manual of Denote here. So at the bottom, you will see there is a function index, variable index, and other concept index as well. Okay. So, of course, you can go here and go through the index, right? But nobody does that actually. What you want to do is from anywhere in the manual, let me come here. From anywhere in the manual, you type I, and this gives you access to all the index entries. So, for example, denote file types, I will just hit enter, and it takes me on the line where that index entry was introduced. So in this case, it was a denote file type, and here it is. If there are more than one, you will see at the bottom of the screen, it says found blah, 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 two in total, use the comma to go to the next, and you do that, and it does just that. So in this case, there will be another match for it. Control 0W is very neat indeed, and it's how I store links to manuals or documentation about them. For example, in the Denote test here, you may have noticed this DT over here, and you may notice that it looks a little bit different than the rest. Granted, I use the Doric themes, which are supposed to be minimalist, so you may not be able to tell much of a difference there. But the point is that these are shorthands, okay? And it's right here. So DT actually stands for denote test in this context. And here is how I point to it. So you see, tests for denote, blah, blah, blah. We use shorthands, just evaluate this, and now you learn what shorthands are. So that is the idea. Now, let's go to TMR. And I will keep my promise of doing a little bit of TMR. So let's see. Is not known to be defined. Let's see. So we start with something that is not known to be defined because, well, it's not known to be defined. How come? Oh, print message for repeating timer. Okay, so I have to define it. Okay, okay, okay. So that's good. I will do that. And where is this? Ooh, repeat. Okay, so actually I have to do plenty of work now. So we have to print a message for the timer. Let me see. Zero actually run because the binding. Okay, let me tell you what it runs. So W here, W runs info copy current node name. So you do that with a control 0. I don't know why they picked specifically 0. Why can I not do control U? Is it actually a 0 or is it? You can actually do control U from what I see here, unless they do something else with the current prefix arg. Well, actually, it's easier for me to try, If I do control U0, no. I don't understand why they do, sorry, control UW. I don't understand why they do control 0. Like, what's the rationale for this? Control U would be the natural way to go. Anyway, let's get to TMR, folks. Let's dismiss this. So we have a new feature for repeating timers. Timer repeat. And we need to do stuff with this. So we have the description and the acknowledge P, which we need to pass here. So description. So description and acknowledge P. So this is because here, description, acknowledge P, and repeat. Okay, that's good. Very good. So let's see, we have that. This is, wait, this is the repeat. Okay, repeat. When there is a prefix, then also do the description, then also do that. Okay, so that's a good. That's good. Let's actually set the timer to time duration and repeat. And repeat it. Repeat n times. Repeat n is an integer, indicating how many times the timer shall be repeated. See TMR for a description of the argument's description and acknowledge P. The difference between the two commands is that timer with details that TMR or TMR with details always asks for a description. Wait, no, this has to be improved. One second, one second. Like this. It's like this. Also see TMR with details. Okay, so TMR with details. See TMR for a description of okay, this is good here in this case. Also see TMR repeat. Okay, so now we have the thing. Let me go to TMR here. And what do we have about the repeat? Optional integer repeat n indicates how many times the timer shall be repeated. Okay, or you could say shall be on repeat, but repeated. Where is the repeat? No, where is it? It's not in interactive use. Wait. Why is it not in interactive use? TMR repeat. How do we prompt? Do we just read the number? Is there like a history that we can pass to read number? Okay, let's make a prompt out of this. So TMR read read repeat, or actually repeat prompt. So I want to make other changes as well now that I saw this. So it should also be here. This is the fourth argument, the last argument. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a little bit of a problem here because now, how will you do this interactively with a double prefix argument? Yeah, okay, let me think about that. But let's come here and do here. Let's do the read duration. Read duration. So let's come here, and after that, description prompt. Okay, I like this. Description prompt, acknowledge prompt. So actually, I want the prompts to be public, not private. So TMR repeat prompt history. This is nil, and this is the mini buffer history for TMR repeat prompt. Okay, and then let's do the defun TMR repeat prompt like that, and then prompt for a repeat count. Let the default be the car of the TMR repeat prompt history, and then do the read the number, and then format the prompt. Actually, let's do it like this. Format the prompt, which will be repeat n times, like this, with the default. Okay, and then the default is the default, and the history is, sorry, the history is the TMR repeat history, like this. Okay, that's better. Okay, let's try this. Let me do this. TMR repeat. Okay, so let's evaluate. Emacs TMR repeat. So I will do that. Repeat. Okay, I will do like a 2s, like this. Repeat it 2 times. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know if you can actually hear it. Of course, of course. Lots of things happening. Oh my goodness. Stop. It will never end. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's yeah, okay. We believe you. So yes, that's good. If I now okay, so we want to add the do we want to say that this will be repeated? Is that important? Why not, right? But one step at a time. Let's do that. So Okay, let's have here. Define TMR repeat prompt and use it in TMR repeat. Okay. Wait, what did I get here? Oh, sorry. No. Let's actually update. Wait. I want to have these separate. Update doc strings related to TMR repeat. We have that. Okay, and pass all arguments from TMR repeat to TMR. That's good. Let's commit those already. So that's good. I think I saw some movement in the chat. Let's see. I actually don't understand that either. It's the same in DRED where Control 0W copies the full path of the file, but Control UW or W copies just the file name. Yeah, I don't know what's the idea for that. Maybe they wanted to save Control U for something else and eventually they didn't do it. But to me, like this, Control U would make sense. There is, of course, a rationale to it. If you have different meanings to the prefix argument, so Control U does one thing, Control 0 does another thing, right? But if we only have one prefix argument now, yeah, I don't see the point. Furthermore, in that specific function that I checked here, what was it? It was this one. They actually just check the prefix arg, you see? They just do this, the current prefix arg, and then they convert the numeric representation of that, but I don't see anywhere else using arg, you see? So yeah, anyway, let's see what this is about. Let's see. Emacs and its adorable and sometimes frustrating idiosyncrasies, of course. But we are here. What can we do? Thanks. Yeah, I totally agree that you should understand all the output that AI produces. I am using Codex CLI to help me write my Emacs configuration from scratch. It greatly speeds things up, which is, of course, a good use case. So, yeah. And of course, if you understand what it is doing, then you are fully in control. That's great. Nothing to add to that. So on one hand, AI will help you do something quickly, but you learn little, indeed. On the other hand, if you explore Emacs alone, you learn a lot, but do much less. And I don't know what approach is better. The thing is, for exploration to actually yield results, so for you to actually learn something from this exploration, I think it helps if it is structured. Like I explore, for example, one chapter from the from the Emacs manual at a time. So by doing that, I guarantee that I build the knowledge little by little. I can understand what is going on. I can test it, and then I can absorb it and eventually embed it in my knowledge. But if it's just exploration, just playing around, I think it will be very difficult to actually retain any of that knowledge. The thing with what you are doing there, where you are asking the Codex CLI to write the configuration for you, that's good. Though here you have an issue where you kind of have to know what to ask it for, because of course it cannot read your mind. So if you don't really know what you are searching for, the AI, even if it's the best thing possible, will not really know what to give you. So it's a little bit of that where I think you will have to do some research anyway. Of course, you don't have to become an Emacs Lisp expert to start with your Emacs. So that's where having AI write some code for you is, of course, great. Emacs Lisp seems like a pretty easy language to write. It just seems like you can mess up by not knowing all the functions and variables that already exist in other packages and such. Uh, Me, I cannot tell if it's easy or difficult because I don't have a background in other programming languages. I did a little bit of shell scripting when I was playing around with Linux, Vim, Tmax, all these friends. And then I switched to Emacs and I was like, okay, now there is Emacs Lisp, let me learn it. And basically, this is my first programming language, second if you want to count Bash. So there is that. And for me, Emacs Lisp is nice. I don't have a background in programming, so I learned it. I have all these packages. You see me coding here. So I guess it's not that difficult, but maybe I'm not the right person to speak on this. Like I cannot really tell. But for me, it feels nice. So that's all I can say. Now let's see here with the timer. I want to do the tabulated list. Tabulated view. We have tabulated mode here. So should we have the repetitions? Like, do we have, wait, let me do the struct. 1 second, struct. So we have the repeat count. So we have timer, repeat count. So we have that. So for example, I forget how we get the thing for the timer at point. Is there a timer at point? TMR at point? Tabulated timer at point. Okay. So I want this for the PMR tabulated at point, timer at point. This one. So will this give me the count? It says 0. Should we be storing the count? The count, once it has elapsed, gets eliminated. Yeah, I guess it gets eliminated. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually don't know what would be the correct workflow for this. Wait, let me see here. Oh, okay. So of course you have to bring it to 0 so that it eventually stops. Otherwise it would never stop. So maybe there would be another thing called repeated, but maybe that's too busy. Actually, let's not worry about that. Let's not do anything with that. So I will leave it like that. I won't include it in the tabulated list. So that's a good. But let me see 1 second here. I want to see the interface of the repeat here. Okay, I will do now. I haven't bound it to keys, right? So it's remove with details. What would we use for repeat? Maybe I can use n for n times, even though maybe there is a better thing to do. Let's do the map. Let's do the key map, action map, prefix map. This is what we want. Timer. This is the remove. This is the cancel. Of course, it could have been on C. Yeah, put it on C as well. So actually, let me do that as well. No, wait. We have a clone functionality, I think. Do we have a clone? Yeah. No. Let's not mix these. Okay, so we have that. Do we have anything bound to n? No. Okay, so I think n would be okay. So here, timer repeat. Bind. Actually, wait. Timer prefix map, and we do def alias. Why do we do this? We could do prefix here, no? prefix here, timer, prefix map. And I think that's good. Let me see here. Define key map with the prefix. Let's see the prefix. If not nil, this should be a symbol to make into a prefix command. Okay, so that's correct. So we don't need any of this. But this is auto-loaded. Fine, let's leave it. Let's leave it as it is. Let's just focus on the repeat here. TMR repeat. Let me see 1 second. Okay, let me go here. We have this. I actually want to delete this. Just delete this. And I want to create a new timer. Let's do it for 100 minutes. So it's like that. I don't want it to play back, but okay. I want now to do the repeat. So TMR repeat. Let's see. So it's the repeat 3 times. What? What was that? Oh, okay, okay. Repeat prompt. Wait. This should return a number, right? Wait, what? Number to string? What number to string? Ah, wait. So this is a string. Oh, okay, that's a string. Format prompt. Ah, fine, fine, fine. Read number will return. Okay. So wait. Read the number. 1 second. Okay, let's go to the scratch. Read number test. Okay, the number 3, for example. That's 3. Oh, so it returns 3, but in the history it stores a string. Why would it do that? Okay, so the default has to be like this. Yes. Oh, what a pity. So number to string to number, actually. String to number. Okay. Let's see. This. Hey, what is this? How many defaults do we need? Okay, like that. 3. Okay, so read number has the format prompt internally. Like, this is a disaster. Okay. Okay. Oh my goodness. It's inconsistent. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, so 1. Okay, and then in the history, it's always strings. Okay. So if there is a default, of course, here, like this. So when there is a default, let's do that. Of course, I don't need to check if it's a string or not. Or like this should be fine. If it returns an error, then so be it. So let's have that. Fix how the default is passed in the TMR repeat prompt. Okay, good. And bind TMR repeat to the TMR prefix map. Okay, let's do that. So what I want to do now is 2 things. Of course, I want to go document the TMR repeat and also document the fact that this has the repeat. And I also want to create this function that is missing here. Print message for repeating timer. Yeah, I'm not sure what the intention was here. print message for repeating timer. Acknowledge mini buffer, notifications notify, acknowledge dialog, mini buffer. I'm not sure what we wanted to do with this. Let's go see. So this will be called at the end here with a timer. Okay. Timer complete. Okay, so let's have it here. It takes a timer. And then, okay, let me 1 second lower the volume here. Wait. And I will just play the timer here on repeat. So I will do that. Message, print message, print message for how many times timer repeats. Actually, I'm not sure what we want to do here, but let's see. When timer here, timer repeat count in the timer, timer repeats. And actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to do here. So let's actually have it like this for now. Let's do this as a when let repeat, or we can say count if we want. Count like this. Okay, so let me go here. Let's kill this. And now let's do TMR repeat. Let's do it 5 seconds. And let's repeat it 5 times. So repeat 5, duration 5s. Okay. So timer repeats. Okay, 4, 3. Okay. Timer repeats another times. Another. Okay. So of course all the other messages are printed. I think this is fine. Timer repeats another D times here. And let's go to the def phase. Def phase. Description, paused, finished. The description is bold. 1 second. Let me do a TMR repeat here again. Let's do the same. Repeat 5, duration 5s. Actually, let's not do anything here. Timer repeats for 4. Timer repeats another 3 times. Yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, this is fine, and then we can see in the future what else we want to do for this. Timer repeats another this many times. Maybe I could have it as a with more information. I see the messages there. No, we don't need anything else. Let me see. Started, ended. Yeah, this is fine. This is with the standard stuff. So implement missing this here. Okay. So now let's go ahead for interactive use. Yeah, I have to think how to do with the standard TMR function, how to do it with in interactive use. No, I have to. I don't like the idea of a double prefix arg for repeat here. let me think about this a bit more. Let's go here. This one will prompt first for the repeat and then for the others optionally. Okay, anyway, let's go and document it. And I saw some movement in the chat, folks. I will come right to you now with details. Let's do with details. An alternative to the difference between the two is that the latter always prompt for a description and if the timer should be acknowledged. Let's do the F index again. You may remember this from earlier. Timer repeat. Similarly, the TMR repeat is a wrapper for TMR that always prompts for a timer with a repeat count. This means that the timer will ring that many times. Art of dev. Okay, so it's like that. Do we mention timer with details elsewhere? Let's see. It contains input provided by the user at the relevant prompt of the TMR, TMR and TMR details commands, or anywhere else where a description is given. Okay. What is that? Timers at the completion prompt are described, including the optional description of TMR, and derivative commands accept. Okay, sorry, including the optional description that TMR and derivative commands have. Let's see, timer with details. Okay, so let's have that. Document TMR repeat in the manual. Okay, make small clarifications to the manual. Okay, like that. Let me get to the chat, folks, and let's see what we have. Okay, where are we? Emacs Lisp seems like a pretty easy language. Yeah, we did that. It just seems like you can mess up. Yeah, we read that. It's easy but not familiar. Yeah, so Emacs Lisp is easy but not familiar. May ring was an understatement. It rang all right. Yeah, of course. It rang and it really did it. I think part of this is a bug in GNOME where it rings 2 times no matter what. So because on XFCE or on my tiling window managers like in Xorg, I always get one ringing. Whereas here on GNOME, it does it double, like did it, that sort of thing. So anyhow, folks, I think time flies here. I have been here for 3 hours. So I say let's call it a day. I did a little bit of TMR. There is here, what I want to do here is a to-do for how best to do the part here of including the, how best to include the repeat n in the interactive spec of TMR. What we have now suggests we should use the double prefix arg, but I not like that. Maybe we can leave it as is and not use the repeat interactively in this way. Users can rely on TMR repeat. Okay, so yeah, that's good. Let's have this, folks. Let's actually write a to-do. Write to-do for the TMR command and its repeat end. Very good. So what happened there? Okay, let's also update the TMR manual. Okay, there it is. Off it goes. Yeah, there. Better. Let's see. Okay, good. Good. I say this is a good point, folks, to call it a day. So thank you very much for your attention. I wanted to do more on TMR, but I spent a lot of time on Denote. So this was good. Anyway, it went well. So yeah, that's great. So I will close the stream now, and yeah, I will talk to you again next time. I still have a ton of stuff to do. So yeah, I guess there will be a stream in the near future, maybe even on Saturday. I don't know. I announced this like 20 minutes ahead of time. So I do this spontaneously. And yeah, I guess that's part of the fun with the live stream. So take care, folks, and goodbye for now. Bye bye.